So I'd like to start right away in this practice to lead you from activity to rest, from waking potentially to deep sleep. It's not a bad idea. You can see if you have a chair nearby that at the end of the practice we're going to take advantage of something like that. So if you have one, great, go ahead and bring it in. And go ahead now and let's start on our back on the floor. Settle in, and we're just going to practice some sensory withdrawal. So go ahead and close your eyes, settle onto your back. And we'll begin just by taking a few minutes to collect our awareness. As though the senses were attached to tentacles, and now you're withdrawing them inward, your antenna to the outside world slowly begin to move from exteroception to interoception. A quick scan of the body starting at the crown of the head. Notice the sensations, muscular contraction or softness, facial muscles, neck and shoulders. Unique sensations in the chest, left and right. Left arm, right arm, and even the hands. Just non-judgmental, non-reactive awareness. Do you notice any unique sensations in the abdomen, perhaps abdominal organs, tightness, softness? Pleasure, pain, into the pelvis. How about what you notice in the distinctions between, say, the left leg, the right leg, left foot, right foot? Even the sensations in the toes. Now, keeping that open field awareness, begin to slowly shape the breath in through the nostrils, out through the mouth. As you're exhaling through the mouth, your intention is to soften the body, begin to unwind the mind. By exhaling through the mouth, it triggers just a little more active modulation of our nervous system. And now as you continue to shape the breath this way, put your right hand on the abdomen, left on the chest. And again, breathing into the belly now, out. And continue just for a few more rounds. No rush, perhaps extending the exhale a little bit longer. Sensing not only is the body releasing, but the content of the mind is slowly beginning to empty, to disperse. Good. 2 more breaths, please. Chest is still, belly soft, expanding on the inhale, contracting, sinking toward the spine on the exhale. Now please, on your next breath in, bend your knees, draw the thighs toward the chest. Place your hands on your shins just below the kneecaps, straighten the elbows. Inhale the thighs away from your upper body, exhale the thighs into the upper body. You can continue to exhale through the mouth if you want, otherwise through the nostrils. Exhaling, thighs into the chest, squeezing the legs together, and resisting just a bit by anchoring the sit bones more toward the floor. The tendency is, as you draw the thighs in, the sit bones will want to lift away from the floor. You offer a little bit of resisting. And as you're breathing out, emptying the lower belly. Now hugging the knees into the chest, stay there, drop your arms more or less out to the side, in line with the shoulders. Exhale, drop the knees over toward your right arm, underarm, and then slowly inhale the knees up and bring them over to the other side. Exhaling over, inhaling to center, and please continue. Inhaling to center, exhaling to the opposite side. Take your time. If it's comfortable and you're able to do it, go ahead and turn your chin away from the side that you're dropping the knees to. And as you're moving, the whole idea here is to loosen effort and loosen the memory of exertion and contraction and intentionality, this kind of mindset that takes hold of us when we move through the world. This idea of focus, keep moving. And then you're going to exhale over to the first side. Take a moment there. And as you're exhaling, contract, softly contract the navel and turn it again. The opposite way as the knees, in which the knees have settled, or the side of the body on which the knees are resting. So obviously this is not a super deep, intense stretch for most of us, but nonetheless, it's an opportunity to explore where in the hips, where in the belly, where in the internal organs you are holding restriction and tension. This is a mindful transition from activity to rest, from waking toward sleep. Okay, back to center and then change sides. And maybe 2 more breaths. There has to be this kind of conscious decision now to transition mindfully. We actually need a rhythm of rest in order to sleep well. We can't expect sleep will allow us to drop into deep restfulness, because we can sleep and not actually be rested. So for sleep to be really productive, we are restful when we enter it. Please come back to center. Hug the knees into the chest one more time. Maybe rock a little bit side to side, create a little opening. And then from there, let's go ahead and rock over, come up to 4s. And on 4s here, we'll stack the hands more or less under our shoulders, the knees more or less hip distance apart, but take the knees slightly back so they're not directly under the hips. Then inhale, lift the heart. Expand the chest, and exhale, draw the tailbone into the body, navel to the back body. And repeat that, inhaling softly, lifting the chin, expand the chest. And now exhale 5 counts as you draw the belly back and round the upper back, space between your shoulder blades wide. Again, 5 count exhalation. Inhale, breathe out. And if it's helpful, you can not only think about the lower belly and abdomen contracting, also think about the pelvic floor engaging. Helpful just to aid in the anchoring of the mind to the body. And now continue the movement, now maybe extending it to a 6 count exhale. And do that 3 times. More and more. As you draw inward, the abdomen inward, also sense the mind is moving inward. And last 2 rounds, 6 count, exhale. Inviting the mind to restfulness, to reach reconciliation with what happened or didn't happen today at this point, as particularly if you're using this practice to move into sleep. It's a measure of finding a kind of assimilative focus, catching up with what was. And now from there, let's slowly adjust. Go ahead and rest in child's pose. So seat to the heels. Modify it if you need to. Upper body on the thighs, and place the hands wherever they're most comfortable. So if you want, you can, if your forehead's not on the floor, you can make your hands into fists. We're going to be here for just 1 minute. Deepen into diaphragmatic abdominal breathing. So as you're inhaling, you're emphasizing no longer moving the chest particularly, but the belly presses into the thighs. And notice on the back, the floating ribs, the lowest ribs, are expanding. And as you exhale, belly toward the back body, and the lowest ribs now slowly narrowing. 4 more breaths. Belly presses against the thighs as you extend the diaphragmatic abdominal breath. Again, polyvagal or vagal nerve toning, we are activating the parasympathetic nervous system, which we need to have enlivened in order to sleep well. A couple more smooth, even breaths. Good. Please finish the last round. And then when you're ready, slowly adjust, and we're going to come up to standing. Just a little bit of standing work, not much. So I'm going to invite you now to have your feet about hip distance apart. Okay. And in that position, so what we do here is combine chair pose and uttanasana. This is something I use not infrequently in order to help slow down and help, again, ground. So inhale, raise both arms. Chair pose, exhale, sinking the hips. And then in the last part of the exhale, go forward, resting the upper body on the thighs, soften the neck. Breathe in, lean back, come up. Now we're going into Uttanasana, forward fold, so knees are slightly flexed, either arms extended or hands on the hips, or they reach out to the side. Exhale and fold. Breathe in, come back up to standing. And chair pose, 5 count exhale. Same with Uttanasana, 5 count exhale. Take your time. Remember the diaphragmatic abdominal breath. Okay, we're going to keep going like this, now extending the exhalations to 6 counts on both chair and the forward fold. And Uttanasana, 6 counts. If you find in between rounds you're a little short of breath, you could pause on your own, modify it, inhaling back up, and then 7 count rounds and an 8 count round. Soften your neck at the end. Notice the contraction of the belly. Completely the back is stretched out, released. Uttanasana, 7 counts. Take your time, flat back, lead with the heart, the chin slightly in. And last round, 8 count if you can. Chair pose. Completely exhale, all the breath out, empty the lungs, drop into the roots of the spine, embodiment. Inhale, coming up again, and 8 count Uttanasana, forward folding. Now stay in the forward bend, please. Just be comfortable in your forward fold. If you like, interlace your arms and rest the arms between the face and the shins. And now surrender to gravity for about 5 or 6 breaths. If you can, find the 8 count exhalation again. Relax any tension that might surface. So those of you who have found your 8 count rhythm, if you like, what you can do is breathe out for 7, pause for 1. So this is really a breath to reestablish regulation, to down-regulate the nervous system. Again, 7 count exhale, 1 count pause. Rest, soften the back. And then 2 more rounds, possibly 6 count exhale, 2 count pause. Okay, so we're going to come out of the pose into chair. Won't be here long. Drop into chair, either arms level or overhead. Either one is fine. And as you stay, again, contract the belly. Just 3 rounds. Contract the belly, possibly engage the pelvic floor. Release the pelvic floor and the belly as you inhale. Again, this is grounding, descending force. It activates apana. So we can come back home to our resting nature. Okay, let's inhale, push to straight legs. Come up slowly. Spine tall. Breathe in the nostrils, breathe out through the lips, softly contracting the belly 3 times. When we listen to ourselves breathe, when we feel it, when we see it, it automatically stimulates the parasympathetic nervous system. Please come down to 4s for pigeon pose. You can use a blanket if your hips are not square easily to the floor, if you're not as flexible in your hips. So let's put the outside of the right calf on the floor, for example. So we're going to slowly reach back through the straight leg as much as we can. Initially, I like to curl the toes into the floor and really kind of drop the hips into the pose. Then eventually straightening the back leg and pointing the toes back. And please, we're going to stay here for about a minute. Softening the belly. There's a kind of generosity I'm inviting you to develop in the abdomen. You know, there's images both of the Buddha, as well as Ganesha, for example. And it's a reflection, we'll call it a symbol, it's a reminder of this idea of our enlightened capacity has this ability to digest and assimilate our life experiences. And when we fail to do that, when we have a lot of unprocessed thought, when we carry a lot of the weight of the world with us, our perception of it at least, it disrupts our capacity to rest, to be at home in our own bodies, to easily shift from the waking to the dreaming, from the active to the restful. Okay, please change sides, take your time. Come out of the pose, do the other side. So just as important the pose, in fact, more important the pose, is the quality of the breath that you use while you're in the pose. Position yourself as you did. Take the straight leg way back, sink the hips. And as best you can, the ilium, the front of the hip bones, are parallel to the floor, squaring to the floor. So stay and breathe. might notice how interwoven, how intrinsic it seems to be, the contraction, the holding, the restriction in the lower back and in the hips is, that's physical manifestation, is to the tension that we hold in the mind. Okay, so let's release slowly, extend the legs forward. As you sit up, the hands can rest lightly on the floor under your shoulders. And then inhale, slowly lift the chin. And as you exhale, lower the jaw parallel to the floor, lift the collarbones, empty the pit of the stomach. Repeat it. Breathing in, awareness is moving downward. And as you breathe out, bring awareness upward toward the abdomen. 2 more times. Breathing in, chin rises, awareness descends toward the pelvic floor, and as you exhale, it ascends, quietly filling the abdomen. Abdomen is the seat of assimilation, samana vayu. 1 more time. Okay, so now please from there, bend the right knee. And if you're able to, go ahead and bring it over onto the other side, outside of the leg. And now we'll sit tall and do a simple twist here. Lift the heart. Activate the straight leg. Flex the foot. And now let's breathe in normally and see if we can slowly create that 5 count exhale on going into the twist. Release it by half on the inhale. So you're coming out halfway. Exhale, 6 counts. Lower belly contracts. And then 7 and then 8. Squeeze the navel in, turn it toward the back wall. This will also just be a really nice practice just for your nervous system. Stay 1 or 2 breaths, please. Alert to just dropping into the pose. You become Purusha. You become awareness itself at home in the body. And then let's slowly release. Take your time, unwind, change sides. It's up to you. You don't necessarily have to put the foot on the outside of the leg, but I'm just going to demonstrate that. Then inhale, lift the heart, move into it. And then the same application, 5 count exhalations. And then 6, and then 7, and then 8. And continue, please, on your own. It's again like you're squeezing the vata. You're squeezing the air and the ether and the spaciness and the activity and the stimulation, even anxiety, out of that area. Clearly the large intestine, site of vata, is getting squeezed. Then stay 1 or 2 breaths. Okay. When you're ready, release. Stretch your legs out, bounce the knees out a little bit. Please lie down onto your back on the floor. And initially bend both knees. Those of you who are less flexible, you can use a sock, a strap for the next pose. Okay, so we'll draw the right leg towards us. If you're able to, you grab your big toe. If the knee is straight. If not, by the way, 2 hands hold the sock or the strap, whatever the case may be, then straighten the other leg. If this knee is straight, otherwise keep the knee bent, it's fine. Your body is your material memory.
You want to help the mind process the past so it can be more present, more restful. Listen to the body. Notice where there's holding. Notice how mind, unprocessed thought, has triggered or created bodily reactions. And now the poses allow us to release and loosen our effort, loosen our holding. Change sides slowly. Before you do, lower the leg. Just take a brief moment. If you were stretching the right leg, notice the right side from the heel to the right brain. Approaching restfulness. Okay, change legs. I like to start with both knees bent, even if we're flexible. Then once you have the leg straight, it's at this position you can determine whether or not to straighten the other knee. Only if the knee is straight, you straighten the other leg. Breathe. Softening. Dissolving the physical memory. A few more slow breaths. Press into both heels. Again, notice if your breath has transitioned away from the ideal rhythm, which is the diaphragmatic abdominal breath. Has your breath now gotten shorter in your upper chest? Okay, let's again release. Take a few moments now to notice from the left heel to the left hemisphere of the brain, a wave of restfulness. Okay. We're going to pull the chair into the scene now. So all I'm going to do is pull it in, put my calves on the chair, something like that. We're looking for more or less a right angle. Relax your arms by your side. Please settle. Close your eyes here. So now we're in a rhythm here where we're also giving the body to kind of drain, stimulate lymphatic drainage, and move into a rhythm of rest. For 2 minutes, please, just awareness of the abdomen rising and falling. The more you relax, the slower the breath. The more effortless and subtle the breath becomes. Now please, 1 minute, just aware of presence. The mind is absorbed in presence, and presence fills the mind. Please breathe in and breathe out. From here, you're going to roll onto your left side. We're not done yet. So you roll onto the left side, more or less come into a position like this, knees bent. You can modify it so you feel comfortable. I put my hand on under my head, elbow on the floor, something like this. And then from here, what I'm going to ask you to do is inhale 4, exhale 8. Close your eyes. And now as you continue this in for 4, out for 8, either nostrils or if you like, you can breathe out through the mouth. Sense a healing wave rise from the sole of the right foot. If you're on your left side, sole of the right foot along the right side of the body into the right brain. And as you exhale, see it descend. In 4, out 8. Okay, relax. Roll to the other side. Same practice. So as you go to the right side, goes to the opposite side, you're going to lie on your right side. I'm just going to flip over so I can watch you. And you can watch me. And here, in 4, out 8. And the wave is now up the left foot, left side of the body to the brain. And exhale down, in for 4, out for 8. Right, take your time. Regulating the nervous system. Profoundly internalizing awareness. Remembering what it feels like to be at home in your body. And really, as we fall asleep, that's one of the last cognitive experiences, just being at rest in our own body. One more slow, smooth breath, please. Okay. When you finish, you're going to lie down on your back and do the same practice. In 4, out 8. Exhaling through the lips, I recommend. You can either do it where you are now, or you can get in bed if you're going to sleep. Go ahead and lie down get under the covers, settle in. Body is open, in 4, out 8. About 16 breaths. And then you'll close your eyes again and remember to begin to draw the senses inward.
to come back to that feeling of deep restfulness inside of your body, being at home in the body, letting go of all the stuff, all responsibility, drifting into deep, deep, deep rest. You're also welcome to do this in Shavasana on your back where you are. Enjoy the rest. We'll see you next time. Om.